a day. I was thinking about skipping today, but I was like, I don't really want to go live, like, I don't want to do this, but I was like, you know what? No, I can't. I cannot. I can't skip a day. No way. See, that's where that consistency, like with any habit, you got to build that consistency. Because I was literally thinking that, okay, I should just not do it. It's already late. I've been working. But I was like, no, we just got to get it done. We just got to get it done. Just like you can't break a snap streak. We can't be breaking live streaks today either. So believe it or not, today was my patient care day. So what I try to do is I normally stack all of my patients on Wednesdays and Thursdays. So like I think I had a patient at noon, and then like since like 4 p.m. till now, I was doing back-to-back patients. And then on tomorrow too, I have some in the afternoon. And so that's what I try to do. And that's a really good productivity tip and an ADHD tip too. It's called habit, or like basically stacking, where you want to keep your mind doing the same type of task rather than trying to jump from task to task. So rather than like doing a meeting, then like trying to do some deep work, and then like doing social media writing, and then posting something, you try to do it all at once. So if I'm trying to like study math, for example, then like I'll study math for a bit, and then like I'll do it for a while, then switch. So in my case, right, it makes more sense for me to keep on, like if I'm trying to do all my patient care, do my patient care back to back, and then if I'm trying to like record videos, then record a bunch of videos at once. And then if I'm trying to edit videos, edit a bunch at once. And then if I'm trying to do business work, do business work at once. If I'm trying to research stuff for my program, then research it all at once. Basically, you batch things so that way your mind thinks about the same stuff rather than switching from task to task. Because when you switch from task to task, that's when it gets hard. That's when the problem really comes in. Yeah, I am. So best way, so you can book a consult in my bio. That's the best way to connect. So yeah, that's the best way to do it. Or send me a message too. If you send me a DM, I can send you the info on it. Let's see. Yeah, so if you send me a DM, then I can send you all the info on that as well too. So, hi, how are you? How's my day? It was good. So I was saying before that I'm mainly doing patient care. Like that's what I'm mainly focused on right now. Or actually today was. So like Wednesday is like my big patient day where I'll stack all my patients back to back on Wednesdays. Because that's just what I like to do. I'd rather get everything done, do it all at once, and then like, have a full day to work on business rather than trying to split between, patient here, then business task here. Because like some of those tasks, like especially in business, like you have to just kind of have a dedicated chunk of time to work continuously on them. So like for example, if I'm recording videos for my programs, then I just need a chunk of time to do that continuously. Rather than you just need a chunk of time. Payment plans, no. So if you have a question, if you have a question for me, it's better to ask it in my program. So it's called Level Up Psych Q&A. So I just started that yesterday, and we've already had 15 people sign up. So that's where, right, if working with me directly is not an option, then that's where you can ask me questions, like get a more detailed response, and it's way, way cheaper than working with me directly. So that's what I would check out for sure. But you can also do your out-of-network insurance too. So I file all my patients I see. I'll file their superbills for them, so it goes to their out-of-network insurance. So pretty much it's both. But yeah, so if you, either way, right, either working with me or, just being able to ask me questions in more detail, You can do that in my bio. Or if you send me a DM, then I can send you the information. So let me put that up there right now. Yeah, so yeah, if you send that message, then I can send that to you too. So either way. But if you go to my bio, it's all in there. So yeah, that was mainly the goal of today. So let's see, I think tomorrow I'm gonna be seeing patients in the afternoon. No, actually in the mornings, and from like 10 a.m. to like, I want to say like 5 p.m. Yeah, because I'm doing some prison work in the morning, and then I'm doing some of my private patients in the afternoon. So yeah, but you know, working that long at a job feels like a long time, but like working that long from home does not. So it's a very funny feeling. Like I could work all that time, all day, and it feels fine because I'm doing it from home. So yeah, that's the difference. What are risk factors? I'm doing my care plan. What are risk factors for what? What are risk factors for glaucoma and cataracts aside falls? Like, what are risk factors of those, you mean? I'll have to ask my my ophtho friend. Someone called me ugly on TikTok and I'm devastated. Meds or plastic surgery? No, I think just block them and move on with your life. Yeah, no, I did screenshot. I'm going to send it to one of my really good friends is an ophthalmologist, so I'm going to send it to him and see what he thinks. Basically, I'm trying to. He was thinking about getting into social media, so I was chatting with him for like 2 hours on how he can do that. So I'm going to send him that there's definitely a need. Do I consider Chipotle fast food? I consider it like I mean, it's on the higher tier of fast food. It's like I think it just crosses the line past fast food. Yeah, exactly. Gotta get that cardio. Yeah, I consider Chick-fil-A to be like the peak of fast food, and then Chipotle to like just cross over. Chipotle, Qdoba, all those places. Okay, I'm gonna get nothing done. No, you got this. You got this. I believe in you. Are you Persian? No, I'm Indian actually. No, I get that a lot. But is it ADHD or bipolar? I actually just made a lecture on that in my Psych Q&A program. So if you want like the full answer to that, then I would check that out. And I break down difference between ADHD and difference between bipolar, so you know the difference. So you should definitely check that out if you wanted to get my detailed answer on that. Literally recorded it like 2 days ago. What about Subway? Oh, I think Subway's garbage. It's just carbs. It's just bread. I haven't eaten Subway in years. Would you use the size of someone's ventricles to diagnose schizophrenia? No, you use the symptoms to diagnose schizophrenia. The ventricles are an incidental finding. Is sedation a common symptom? Of withdrawing from tapering from a medicine? Yeah, it can be. Depends on the medication. Especially if it's something like Wellbutrin. Are those goggles? No, these are dry eye goggles. What a rude comment. Yeah, I mean, it's fine. Usually it's the people with that profile pictures that say stuff. Give us your top 3 fast food. I mean, I don't really eat fast food that much, but Chick-fil-A. Chick-fil-A is my number 1. That's pretty much the only like fast food I go to. I like Wendy's curly fries are decent too. Actually, I like those, but I rarely have them. But Chick-fil-A definitely. the spicy chicken sandwiches, the waffle fries, like, that is the best fast food in my opinion. From tapering, anti-seizures medication. Yeah, it definitely can. Oh, Stoggles are a brand? No. These are from Vienna. No, I wasn't talking. I was on a different chat. What about Creole food? Creole food is not. I don't really consider that fast food. That's more like soul food-ish. I went to New Orleans recently, and Creole food it's just too carby. I just don't eat it. Like, it's like rice and beans, and I just don't eat that stuff much. I do like the fish, but even the fish is so like gravy filled. Have I prescribed MAOIs? No. How can I reach the next level on your program? So you can reach the next level. Well, I love it. You're trying to level up. But you can reach the next level by posting. So posting, commenting, answering people's questions, that's the way. Asking your own questions. This is a genuine question. Do you always practice medicine? Well, I think, why don't we use our brains for a second? So when we say we're always on live, if I go to the gym every day, does that mean that I don't practice medicine because I'm always at the gym? If I take a poop every day, does that mean I don't practice medicine because I take a poop every day? Because I shower every day, right? Let's use our noggins here. So, to answer your question, we have 24 hours in a day, and we all space out those 24 hours. So, right now it's 10:46 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So what could have happened from 7 a.m. today till 10:46 p.m.? Could a patient or two or 5 or 10 have been seen during that time? Think smart. Critical thinking. What is your opinion about tariffs? I don't know. I don't keep up with the news. I think the news exists to just feed negativity to us and to keep us addicted. So, and then because the news makes money by keeping us addicted. So I don't watch the news at all. All I know is that I just try to level up in my own life, and like that's what all I can do. What happens if you hit level 2? Is there more info? No, there's no more info. It's nothing's gatekept. You get everything. When you sign up for the program, you get everything. So you get all the coaching modules, you get all the coaching calls. But in the future, I guess we could. Like I've been a part of other programs where you unlock courses as you move up the levels. But I don't really want to gatekeep like information. So yeah. Is 100 milligrams tapering too much at once for anti-seizure meds? Well, it depends on the seizure medication. How do you deal with keeping all the patient stories straight? You just get better at it. I mean, like, I hear so many patient stories like that. You just get better. That's kind of like saying, how do you keep up with a fast-moving ball in basketball, right? It might be hard when you're like high school, but if you're in the NBA, you just get really good at it. So, for example, like today, I have a patient. Like, I know she's a mom, so I asked her about her son. I have a different patient who I know has a very supportive boyfriend, so I asked her about the boyfriend. Right, so you just remember these details about them. They call it programming. Yeah, it is. The news is just propaganda. Like, once you see that, you can't unsee it. The news is propaganda, and it exists to impart a certain opinion onto the masses who consume it blindly. And then once you understand that, you're like, oh, well, of course, that's how you control a populace. Like, that makes sense. People just need to realize and understand that. I'm going to see a psychiatrist in 5 days. Nice. Good luck. Vimpat. I'm not an expert in Vimpat, unfortunately. So I'm a psychiatrist, not a neurologist. So I don't really work with Vimpat. We work more with Lamictal, Depakote, Tegretol, carbamazepine, same thing, oxcarbazepine. Yeah, we don't work with Depakote, yeah. Yeah, we look at those ones. Will stopping 0.5 of a Haldol for a month cause withdrawal? No, that's a tiny dose. That's a baby dose. Can you have a baby for bipolar? Yeah, bipolar parents pass on bipolar to their kids all the time. Do you think being gifted can overlap with any mental health disorders? Sure. I mean, mental health disorders can overlap with being gifted, they can overlap with being stupid, they can overlap with being normal intelligence. There's a whole spectrum. Do you have any case studies? Yeah, usually we discuss the case studies in the calls, like the coaching calls, the Q&As. Like that's where cases come up naturally. But yeah, I could definitely talk about some case studies too. So, what kind of case studies would you like to hear? I was thinking of uploading. I have some PANDAS cases that I've done. I mean, like schizophrenia cases. I have a functional neurological disorder case I'm working on. I talked about that in yesterday's call too, so you can definitely check that out. Are you lifting during this time? Yes. So I signed up for the gym membership here. So yeah. Were you spazzing in Revenge of the Nerds? I've never seen Revenge of the Nerds, but if you've seen the show Greek, this is such a niche reference, but it was like an ABC show back in the day about like a fraternity, like some nerdy kid who runs a fraternity. So that was me, like that main character kid. Like I related to that kid. Have you heard of someone being cured from schizophrenia? No. Schizophrenia is treated. It's not on cure. No, it wasn't me on TV. It was the main character. He was a white kid named Rusty. But I related because I watched the show when I was in college. But so I related to his experience. Creatine? No, creatine's great. Creatine's great for the brain. No. Wow, I'm impressed you remember that. Finally, they reach out back to you so you can set up a membership. No, I decided to go to a different gym instead. So, yeah, so we're taking care of there. At my job, what about your job? During your time as a doctor, have you ever come across unalive attempts during alcoholic blackouts? I think like a couple. They used to go to the ER for that. But it is a common thing. What's the difference between schizophrenia and schizoaffective? So schizophrenia is basically psychosis happening on a day-to-day basis. Schizoaffective is schizophrenia plus depression or bipolar. That's a simple way to think about it. Also know creatine's great. Is your sister a toe doctor? She's a foot doc. Sorry about the misspelling. No, I understand. I understood where you're coming from. My psychiatrist prescribed a med and my primary disagree with it. Does that happen a lot? I mean, yeah. That's why it's opinions, right? That's where you get a second opinion or a third opinion. I mean, it's hard to say in the situation, right, without knowing deeper. So that's where, like, if you want my opinion on, like, you know, your situation, just like my own clinical thoughts, then that's what I would consider signing up for my Q&A program. So that's where, like, I give a lot more detailed info on, like, specifics, right? So, like, I could give my opinion on what I thought of that medication in your case. Yeah, and I'll put a DM. So if you wanna ask me about it, then yeah, you can send me a message there. Can OCD be cured? Yeah, I think so. It tends to get better over time. You can work on it with therapy. Medication can help a lot of the symptoms. Maybe not like too much You handle trolls well, good job, yeah. Well, there's two ways. One, remember where you water a garden or where you water a plant, that's what grows. So the worst thing you can do is give a troll attention, as hard as it is. Because if you give a troll attention, then they will bloom, right? Because if think about the psychology of a troll. It's not a nice, happy, successful person who goes on and is like, oh, I'm going to troll. No. They usually have no profile picture, and you can just imagine the kind of life they're living. So, so you can have some empathy for that, right? That's the first thing. And then the second thing is, like, it's not going to get me anywhere. Attention is the new currency in today's world, so you just don't feed the troll. Like, I have no memory at all of taking it. Can a stimulant be given in schizophrenia? You can. Maybe just at low doses. I'm not a troll, I'm just shy. No, I wasn't talking to you. I was talking on, I'm on YouTube here as well. OCD cannot, I don't think it can be cured, but it can be managed. I think it gets better over time. Doing the most. Like if I have no memory at all, taking a sport. No, these are dry eyeglasses. It was talking to you, actually said your user number is, yeah, user 623457555. How many steps? I don't know. Let's see. I don't know, I'll check at the end. I don't even know how to use this. It's such a boomer. I have a watch, I literally use it for sleep track. Like, that's the only thing I use my Apple Watch for. Do patient thoughts scare you at all? No. Why would they scare me? I don't know. The question is, user 627 blah blah blah, are you single? I didn't know dry eye glasses was a thing. Yeah, they saved my life. I was able to get off all my dry eye meds from these glasses. What's your favorite Indian dish? I just went to my favorite Indian restaurant for dinner tonight. I still like tandoori chicken. That's what I usually get. I used to like rajma chawal, which is like red kidney beans, but I've really cut down on carbs. So mainly just I eat the meat-based dishes. One. I like a fish tikka as well too. Yeah. My favorite mental health supplement? Yeah, so I actually just added all of my favorite mental health supplements in the TikTok shop today. So if you go on my profile, you'll see a showcase, and you can see my favorite supplements there. So I just added that. So you definitely, if you want to get recommendations, so I have recommendations on saffron. And if you want something for anxiety, check out. There's a calm supplement that has magnesium, ashwagandha, and L-theanine, which is really good for calmness. And there's a portable one too, so that way if you get anxious on the go, then you can just like pour it into like a little drink, like it's like one of those like electrolyte mixes. So you can pour it into that, and that can make a difference. So yeah, if you check out my showcase on my bio, you can see all of my favorite supplements. And I really like saffron too. Saffron's really good for antidepressant activity. So yeah. What about for venlafaxine? It's great for depression. I like it a lot. It has some withdrawal, but it's really energizing. I know you can't give medical advice, but can you do your opinion on the meds I'm given? Yeah, so I mean, I missed whatever you had said. But if you want my opinion, like one of the best ways to do that is to ask in my Q&A program too. So like that's where you can actually get a little bit more detailed answers than just on this. Because this, I don't know anything about you, right? Like I just see pure text. But if you join the Q&A program, which we literally launched yesterday and we got over 15 people who signed up, that's where you can actually answer a question or ask a question. I'll give you a detailed video answer back. So it's a lot more detailed than like, just on this. Can you take saffron with an antidepressant? You can, yeah. Why won't my attendings restart patients' meds from last admit? I don't know. It depends on specialty if you're an IM versus psych attendings. Afternoon from New Zealand. Night from America. Why does my mind stay empty? Hard to say, my friend. There's so much going on in your situation, it's really hard to say. See, making wine, making biscuits. I need one more rotation for my PMHNP. I mean, I don't really know too much about the your education, or the schooling path. But if you really want to find out, the best ways to do that would be to join our program. We have a PMHP coaching program where I literally coach PMHP psychiatry, and so we have 60 people who joined in the past 4 weeks. So if you want to network and ask in our community, that would be the place to ask. GABA reuptake inhibitors? I don't think that's the thing. What age would you like to retire? Oh, I'm not going to retire. I'm going to die working. When you retire, you die. So that's why you got to keep your mind sharp. One-on-one, you got to upgrade to the special package for the one-on-one. Then I'll work till I'm 90. Of course, I'm going to live till 90 easily. Yeah, exactly, yeah. Also, so right now it looks like we got some 45 people here as well too. So shit's popping. It's popping, yeah. Yeah, so if you want to reach me directly, right, the best way is just to send a message, honestly. That's probably one of the best ways and easier ways, because it's hard for me to do stuff on live all the time. How long is the assessment? 90 minutes. Now, when did you get an earring? I've had an earring for a while, actually. I think I pierced it a couple years ago. When I was seeing my ex-girlfriend, that's when we went and I got my ear pierced for the first time. But that was like 3 years ago. I've had it ever since. So that's why I just kind of go on and off. I was on 225 of venlafaxine. It's been reduced to 150. You have any idea why? I mean, see, I have no idea, right? I don't know why. It's hard to say. But so that's why I would look at joining our program, right? The Q&A program, because then I can actually look at your situation in more detail than I can on live and be like, oh, it was reduced because of X or Y reason. But it's hard for me to say like this. Favorite hobby? I like working. I like business, honestly. I was actually just thinking about this yesterday, but I just love video games. But now, to me, I think about real life as the video game. And so now business is like the game that I play. And business is fun because you don't know when you're going to win. It's not like a job where at a job, you just clock in for X hours, you make Y money. Business, you could clock in for like 50 hours and make no money, or you could clock in for 2 hours and make a bunch of money. So you don't know where things are going to go. So it's exciting. And you can always level up. So it's just kind of like a video game too, where you don't know where things are going to go, but you can always level up and you get better at the game. And then as you get better at the game, the enemies get easier. But the game still always, and what makes games fun over time is that the game keeps on getting harder and harder, right? So it's the same with business too. So yeah, I think that's my favorite hobby right now, honestly. Have a good evening. You too. What's the most important thing for the mind? It's being mindful. I think that's the most important thing. If you have awareness of your thoughts, your feelings, and your actions, then you can control them. So if you know that you're feeling sad or you're feeling anxious, you can catch those anxious thoughts and reverse them before they take over your mind. So that's huge, and people don't realize that they can do that. That's just a big thing. If you realize that, oh, you're behaving badly, or you're behaving in a way that's not conducive to your goals, then once you have, like, let's say you're binge eating, but you don't catch it till after it's happened, if you're mindful of it, then you can catch it before it gets worse. So mindfulness is the most important thing by far. I think it's the single most important skill that there is. What if my life is on a Hall of Fame level, but I'm a rookie? Well, exactly, right? That's the game. Nobody cares about the person who plays a game on easy mode, right? Like, no glory in that. That's why you watch the people who play Elden Ring, who beat it, and they like beat it with their left hand, or they beat it blindfolded, or they beat it with their toes. Like, that's the exciting stuff. And so, the more rookie you are, the greater your underdog story, and the more that the better the game is going to be if you come up as an underdog, as a rookie, rather than someone as a non-rookie. You should have merch. Nah, I'm not really into merch. I'm not really a consumer kind of person. So that's why all my programs are called Level Up, because that's the life philosophy, right? So whether you want to level up your knowledge, your psych knowledge, so you can join my Q&A program. If you're a PMHNP and you want to level up your psych knowledge as a professional, then you can join that. Or if you just want to level up yourself and you want to work with me directly, then you can book a consult in my practice too. Thinking about podiatry, I mean, my sister's a podiatrist, so you would have to ask her. I have no idea. Have a great night. I will be joining the coaching. Nice. All right. Yeah, you can check it out on my bio, or you can send me a DM, and we'll see you inside, Meg. If you didn't do what you would do, I'd be a YouTuber, or like a social media. Like if I could go back to college, I would have started YouTube. If the person procrastinates to the point that he does not do anything, what to do? So I actually just made a video on this in my Q&A coaching program on how to find motivation. And it's basically like how you can improve your motivation, right? And the whole idea is that to find motivation, you need, and to get over procrastination, you need a destination and you need a reason. So if you're trying to go to the grocery store, if you just get in your car and you're told to drive, well, you're not going to drive, because why? Like, you have no reason to drive unless it's a sports car. But if it's just some like Toyota Camry, then you're not going to drive because you have no motivation to drive. And you might think that it's a motivation problem, but no, it's a problem because you don't have a location to go to and you don't have a reason to get there. But now, let's say you have to go to the grocery store and your reason is because you don't have any food in your house. Well, now the motivation comes naturally because you have a reason and you have a destination. So that's what you need to focus on if you're procrastinating or you lack motivation, is that you have to find a reason. You have to find a goal, a destination, and a reason. And so you journal that. Once you find those, then you're set. Hey, I have a Toyota Camry. Yeah, I had a Toyota Scion. That was my first car too. So there's no judgment, but you're not driving that thing around just to drive it. What states are licensed? I'm licensed in a bunch of states. Like, I actually just got my Florida license today. So I just, so I'm licensed in a whole bunch. Can you do international consults? Yeah, I have some patients I do see internationally. And usually we'll consult with their, like if we decide to move forward, then we'll like talk with their local docs. But yes, I can. Congrats on your expansion. Thank you. Where do you live? I flex my Camry. LOL. Yeah, I like my Scion too. I remember I used to drive around people in college in my Toyota Scion, and people loved it. It was a great car. Did you want to do psych when you started med school? Yeah. Yeah, I actually just got my Illinois license a couple weeks ago too. Yes, I did want to do psych. That's the only thing I was going to do. Either that or family medicine. Do I order a brain scan for every patient? No, I do not. I don't work at that clinic anymore. So, yeah. Louisiana here, nice. I went to med school in Alabama, so we would frequently go to Louisiana for shenanigans. What about Kentucky? Yeah, I actually do. Yeah, I spent some time in Alabama, so that's why. Would you start a YouTube channel? Not now. Like, I've tried to do YouTube a couple times, but there's just it's hard to do unless you fully commit to YouTube, and I just don't have the time to commit to fully YouTube. So I'm committing all into TikTok. So that's what I've been doing. But I have made YouTube videos in the past, so you can definitely Google them if you want. I'm at USA. Nice, go Jags. Go Jags. Do you work with the psychiatry department at all at USA? Or like you go to Alta Point? 4:10 a.m. here, nice. New Mexico, I don't know. Out of state, okay, yeah. So you might be interested actually. So yeah, I just started a PMHNP coaching program a month ago, and we just had 60 members join in the past month, where I basically teach psychiatry to PMHNPs. So, right, if you're someone who's serious about learning psychiatry and leveling that up, then I would definitely look at joining. Huh. Do you have Kentucky? I do, yeah, I do. I do have Kentucky, yes. Well, true for younger age groups, yeah. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I just in another life, but right now, you know, it's another business lesson and a life success lesson, is that to be successful, you really just have to focus. And I remember an entrepreneur saying, it's like, you know, when you're broke and you have nothing, then you want to say yes to everything because you don't know what opportunities will come your way. But once you're actually doing well, then it's about saying no to everything, because all those other opportunities may seem good, but they'll distract you from the one thing that you need to focus on. So for me, like, I started a YouTube channel last month. Like, it was a channel helping moms connect with their sons. And I wrote a book, like I've literally half written a book on this topic. And the book's still sitting there, just in my Google Drive archives. But I was like, no, now I need to focus. And so I decided to go all in on this stuff. So that's something that I had to, I don't say abandon, but like keep in the archives for the time being. Because to be successful at anything, you have to prioritize and focus. You can't be good at everything, so you have to be good at something. And I'd rather be outstanding at this one thing, right? Like TikTok psychiatry, rather than trying to like branch out into a bunch of stuff. I wonder if it's a world record for a doctor to have the most licenses. No, I don't think so. Do you think I'll survive if I don't sleep at all night and then go to clinicals from 7 to 3? That sounds miserable. No. I need my sleep. I personally need my sleep. Like, I need 8 to 9 hours of sleep per night. Otherwise, I feel like trash. If I ever get better, I want to study to become a psychologist. Nice. I mean, you can do whatever you want. You just got to put in the work and just focus on it. That's the most important thing. With focus comes clarity. Like recently, so after my last job, right, like I was trying to decide, do I get a new job? What do I do? And I decided to just commit all into social media. And that gave me the most clarity that I ever had, was because I was like, you know what, like I'm committing to this all day. Yeah, me too. I've never pulled an all-nighter just today. Yeah, the first time I actually pulled an all-nighter ever it was at my friend's 30th birthday party. We were in New Orleans, and we just stayed up all night, and then I had a flight the next morning at 7 a.m., so there was no point in sleeping. But other than that, I've never done an all-nighter before. So I've never done it for school, never did it for med school, never did it yeah. When does escitalopram start working? I've been on it for almost 6 weeks and nothing. Yeah, so it's supposed to start working usually around 1 to 2 weeks-ish. That's actually a lesson that I go into more deep in my Q&A program. So if you check that out, I explain exactly how antidepressants work, like for patients, not for like doctor talk, but I explain exactly how they work and how quickly to start on them. And like how quickly you start noticing an effect, when should you change, when should you keep the same. So if you really want to get more detailed understanding of your medication or like be able to ask me questions a little bit more directly, then I would definitely look at joining that. And we had 16 people join in the past 24 hours. And I already bumped the price up once, because at 15 members, and I'm gonna bump it up again at 25. So if you have questions like that, you definitely want to join now before the price goes up, because that's where I answer like these kind of meta questions in much more detail. Just because I can't really answer them in much detail here. Yeah, but I think now it's kind of like okay, it's 11:15, so I think I'm gonna call it. Maybe take a shower. I still need to see The Last of Us Part Season 2, Episode 1, so I still need to watch that. So I'm gonna watch that and then go to bed. Honestly, that's gonna be the plan. But otherwise, and if you have a question, just send me a message, a DM. That's the best way. And otherwise, I shall see you tomorrow.